Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Mohawk Energy is adding 200 jobs and teaching valuable tech skills in the Letcher County area. And the return of Alley Fest is cheaper than ever, but it still packs a heavy-hitting lineup. Stay with us to find out who.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6 o'clock on September 20th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, you just said a few minutes ago, we're just over 2 days until fall.
Just more than 2 days we are looking at that starting. Here's the thing, technically, if you want to get real technical about it, it's Saturday morning. But it's really Friday night, so it's just more than 2 days.
Well, after you go to bed on Friday night.
After you go to bed, when you wake up on Saturday, it'll be fall. How's that sound?
Crazy.
Exactly. All right, let's get into the forecast this morning. Bit of fog out there, so be careful. Not as bad as it has been, but I noticed some on my way in this morning coming from into Hazard from parts of western Letcher County. So just give yourself plenty of time, no matter where you are this morning. I saw some downtown Whitesburg a little earlier, too. Anything less than 5 on this map, which is Harlan, Middlesboro, and Jacksboro at this point. Hazard's close. Pretty foggy. So just keep an eye on that Pine Mountain, Whitesburg Mountain there on US 119. No major issues heading down into the valley. But once you get into the valley, it's going to get a little foggy. 55 there, 55 in Harlan, Williamsburg. It is 52 in Prestonsburg, 51 in Irvin, 52 Manchester. And London as well, 52 Jacksboro. Now 48 in Jonesville, Clintwood, and Grundy. Who's going to be the next? Hazard, you're going to pull the trigger on that one. But again, we're going to continue to watch those cooler temperatures again this morning. It's pretty nice out there, honestly. I mean, it's comfortable. It's going to get a little warmer today, but not necessarily like soupy. It's just going to be a little bit warm with the sun. 81, no rain chances today, and not really any rain chances in our immediate future. We'll talk more about the extended forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Olivia?
Brandon, thank you. A federal judge sentenced a Southern Kentucky man for drug trafficking. 41-year-old Michael Nachinachi received a 13.5-year sentence. In a plea agreement, he admitted to having a backpack with more than 50 grams of methamphetamine inside. He also had a gun. He pleaded guilty in May. A Bell County man was taken into custody on 2 Knox County arrest warrants. In about 3 weeks, police say Dustin Henry Miracle committed 18 counts of theft of identity of another without consent, 21 counts of unlawful access to a computer, 2 counts of theft by unlawful taking or disposition, $500 or more, and theft receipt of stolen credit or debit card. Miracle was also wanted on a Knox County bench warrant. With Kentucky not requiring a license or background check to carry a concealed gun in public, it is important for people to understand the state laws regarding concealed weapons. A class about concealed carry is happening in Hazard soon. WYMT's Jack Demler spoke with the instructor as well as law enforcement officers about the importance of those classes.
Dale Hanlon has been teaching concealed carry classes since 2010.
From what I've seen in, the 13 years, I would sure like to, there's a lot of people that's got a license to carry that's sketchy.
And on September 30th, Hanlon will host a 6-hour course through the Kentucky Department of Criminal Justice regarding the rules and regulations.
Tells you when you can and can't use deadly force, where you can and can't carry a handgun. And there is a certain aspect that it has to do with safety.
Hanlon says while the course includes aspects of safety, he feels there is not enough.
Personally, I wish there was a lot more. I'd like to see there be a pre-class, a class 6 or 8 hours of just making sure that you're proficient with your handgun.
Hanlon says he is only allowed to teach what is required by the Department of Criminal Justice.
We cannot go outside of the guidelines of what the Department of Criminal Justice gives us. We have to stick to the criteria in the book. We have to make sure we teach all the criteria, but not add to or take away.
In a course, Kentucky State Police Trooper Matt Gayhart says it's important for people considering purchasing a firearm.
Any kind of training that you can get, especially when it comes to a deadly weapon, and learning how to use that correctly is going to help.
Gayhart encourages people to not stop there and get advanced training as well. In Hazard, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
Hanlon says he hopes people who take his courses understand the serious responsibility behind owning a firearm. For more information about the course, you can check out our website. Letcher Countyans can earn the opportunity to gain hands-on technology skills at a new company in Jenkins. Mohawk Energy will add more than 200 jobs to the area, training people on repair projects. Human Resources Director Adora Rogers says they are working to be leaders in the technology sector.
We're learning from the trainings that we go to different countries and bring it back here, and they will be able to have this knowledge and nobody can take it away from you.
Mohawk Energy also has activated a blockchain database which can allow nearby organizations to more tightly secure information and records. States across the country have moved to decriminalize cannabis, but Kentucky remains just one of 18 where cannabis is still criminalized. As Samantha Valentino shows us, more than 300,000 people in Kentucky have been charged with a cannabis-related crime in the past 2 decades.
Every hour, roughly 2 people are charged with a cannabis-related crime in Kentucky. That's according to an analyst of AOC data done by the Kentucky Center for Economic Policy. They also found that more than half of those people were convicted.
Cannabis-related charges affect every county in the state, and it varies based on county, but our rural areas are sometimes twice as likely to convict people of cannabis-related charges than our bigger cities, but there's no county in Kentucky that isn't dealing with this issue.
Over the course of 2 decades, more than 64,000 people in the Appalachian region were charged with cannabis offenses, not far off from Jefferson County's more than 72,000 people charged in the same period, and more than 3 times Fayette County's roughly 18,000. Kaylee Raymer with the Kentucky Center for Economic Policy says even a misdemeanor possession conviction can have lasting harmful effects on a person's life.
They may be subject to fines and fees. Depending on their record and the type of charge, they may end up on probation and have to report to a probation officer or comply to other terms of probation. They may also face new factors when trying to look for a job. With a cannabis charge or conviction on their record, it could affect their ability to get housing.
That's why Raymer says decriminalizing cannabis in Kentucky would have a positive impact on the entire state.
We could regulate and tax cannabis. That's new revenue for our state, so we can pay for the resources Kentuckians need. And the good thing about decriminalizing cannabis is most other states have already done it, so we have a lot of models that we can look at. We can see what mistakes were made.
In Frankfort, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
Raymer says if cannabis is decriminalized in Kentucky, legalization legislation should include expungement processes for anyone with cannabis charges or convictions. Alley Fest is headed back to Paintsville, and the entire weekend is free to the public. The event will fill its usual parking area on College Street next month, bringing talent from all over for a free festival. It will include headliners like Ricky Skaggs and Willie Watson to a special performance from Oliver Anthony. With partners on board to help shoulder the expense, Alley Fest producer Jordan Pelfrey says it will be a fun time for all.
I'm excited for some good music. I'm excited for we're gonna have plenty of food vendors too. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody and listening to, like I said, all the great artists, and hopefully we're gonna be packed.
Alley Fest kicks off October 6th. For more on the talent and times for the music festival, check out our website.
6:09 here on this Wednesday morning. We continue to truck toward midweek, and we're continuing to see a little bit of non-action out there. Now, Jenkins, US 119, US 23, not much traffic heading into Southwest Virginia this morning. Not a whole lot of fog over there, but we did see some fog in Whitesburg earlier, and of course some fog in other parts of the region as well. So just be careful out there wherever you are this morning, and watch out for each other and the school buses. 49 in Grundy, 48 in Jonesville, 47 in Clintwood. It is 50 here in Hazard, and everybody else is above that, basically between about 51 to 59 or so out there. State region wide, Louisville's at 61, Nashville's at 60, Lexington 59, everybody else though in the 50s, 52 across the river, Cincinnati, and 52 in the Tri-Cities. We're all heading to the low 80s today. About 81 here is our forecast. Sunset tonight at 7:34. Olivia?
Thank you, Brandon, and thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, climate change is set to be the main topic of today's United Nations General Assembly in New York after it called for unity yesterday.